Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 3.6 of the Bootcamp, which will be about the yesterday highs and yesterday lows. This is also along the high time frame contextual setups. But before I continue, this is the final episode of this series. It has been a phenomenal bootcamp series, and I know that a lot of people have got value from it. We genuinely appreciate the support and the love that you guys have given this bootcamp uh, the past couple of weeks. Took a lot of time, effort, and going back through all my journals, finding everything, making sure that all the trades connect. And as I said, every example I've shown, you could even go back to the other episodes, are trades I've genuinely taken. They're not hindsight things, because I understand that a lot of people are getting frustrated these days, where we where people or on the internet show strategies, and they're not, they're just strategies that they themselves do not take. So once again, I have examples ready of all the trades that I've taken personally myself. So I've only included them. I could have shown a million other examples that fall under the yesterday high, yesterday low strategy, but I have not personally taken a trade in them. So I'd rather, you know, put money where my mouth is and show you guys what I've actually taken, and I've really risked real money on it. So episode 3.6, yesterday high and low. Before we continue, also please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and join our Discord. It's totally free, and we've built an amazing community, and we're active there nearly 24/7. So episode 3.6 about yesterday high and low strategy. As you can see, very easy. We're just gonna get into it. Those are high time frame contextual setups, just like all the other episodes. Think of the book that we have. This is a book page, and all my setups that I have from episode 3.1, the playbooks, the FPDs, the FPDOs, the VWAP reclaims, the pre-market high, the pre-market lows, are used with those high time frame contextual setups, whether it be the gap up, the gap down, the yesterday high, the yesterday low. And this is where my trading bias and my whole narrative into the day comes from. So as you can see, yesterday high is marked as the true price range. So not pre-market high or whatever. It has to be the true price range from 9:30 a.m. New York time until 4. And the yesterday low is considered this exactly. So whenever I talk about yesterday high, then we're talking about the high of the previous day. Whenever I talk about yesterday low, we're talking about the low of the previous day. So we have three things for both of them. So for day high and the low, we got three things. We either break it, hold it, or fail it. This break it is the most used case. This is also where I use it the most. So we do have cases of this and this, but the break is the most. It's just a simple breakout. Let's put it that way. Price moves through the level, breaking it, the most common outcome. I mean, use the breakout. Simple as that. Holds it. Yesterday high hold, pull back into it and hold the support. Yesterday low hold, pull back into it and hold as resistance. So for holds it, we have, I'm going to go into the examples in a bit. You have two ways that it could hold it. A break is a simpler break. So if we're talking about the previous example, let's say if we go back up, if we're talking about the yesterday high and the yesterday low, if it breaks it, it's just a simple break, continue, break, continue. And this is a simple break it. If it holds it, however, we're talking about the case where, let's say, if this is yesterday's high and price opens and it already above the high, pulls back into this yesterday high and continue. That's one way of holding it. Another type of holding it is where you're talking about yesterday low and price is here, it pulls back into it, holds yesterday lows and continues. So those are the two types of hold it. It either holds it as a support or it holds it as a resistance for pulps. So let's say if this is yesterday high and price opens here, goes here, it holds it. Or if this is yesterday low, price opens here, comes here and holds it. So those are the two types of holdings. Then you've got fail it. And fail it, as it says, failure, breakout, or reclaim the move, show for both. So what you could see is if this is yesterday's high, it breaks out and fills it. And then you've got yesterday low, fills it, breaks out and fills it and continues up. So those are the three main outcomes that you have when I'm playing the day high, the yesterday high, and the day low, the yesterday low. And the break is the most used. So keep that in mind. Let's go into the breakout. So you could see I've marked my yesterday highs in a green dotted line and my yesterday lows in a red dotted line. So it's irrelevant which day it is. I'm going to go into the examples in a bit, but it's irrelevant. And as I said, the examples that I'll show in a bit are a mix of everything. And I'll explain once I open them. I haven't labeled them by breakout or by hold or by fill because they mostly breakout either way. What I'm going to do is when I pull them up, the examples of yesterday high, I'm going to show you guys. When I pull the yesterday low examples, I'm going to show you guys and we'll be telling you this is the breakout, this is the fill, this is the hold. But as I said, mostly are the breakout. So you could see that this is yesterday high. Price opens a bit lower. We break out, simple breakout, as it says in the name. This is a breakout for the yesterday low. So this is yesterday low, green dot, red dotted line marks it. Price opens here. We fill, pull back into it, come down. This is a simple breakout. Very simple. Then we have the hold. As I said, the hold comes in two ways. Price opens above it. We come back into it. We hold yesterday low. That's a hold. And then the same as if price opens above it, pulls back into it, and continues. So those are the other way, the other two hold ways, which could have also been is that that this is also a good example of a hold that this yesterday's high and this holds it and comes all the way back down. In this case, it didn't, but if it did, then it would have also been a hold. And the same as if price moved, opened here, let's say, and this is yesterday's low, and price goes into it, comes back down. This is also holding it because it's not. It already broke out in pre-market. We don't care about that. But what it does, it pulls back into it, holds it, and comes back down. So we technically have four ways of holding. One is where I would say the short case scenario. So those are both bullish scenarios where it holds yesterday's high as a support and continues, hold yesterday's low as a support and continues. And the other example would be in the short case scenario where it holds it as a resistance and it holds it as a resistance where it pulls back, continues, goes back down, and it holds it as a resistance. So we have the support way, I'm going to call it sub, and the res for holding. And they're both two examples. And then we're going to go into the fill. Very easy. As the name already says, you could see yesterday's high is here. It pops that open and it just fills it. And this is a simple fill. And that could be the same example with if it was the other way around. If yesterday's low was here and then we come back down and we hold it, and that's also a fill. So I'll go into the examples right now. I have a lot of examples ready for you guys, and pretty sure that you guys will get a way clearer thought process about it once I go over the examples. We're gonna start with yesterday high that already ready, and then we're gonna go with the dates. And as you guys can see, this is the second trade execution, first trade execution. And as I said, I'll be showing you guys mostly my trade Zella because then you could clearly see where I entered, exit, etc., etc. Whereas if it was my other one, like if it was another platform execution example, like I don't know, just like this, could be just a random example, you guys wouldn't really know where I exactly entered. It could have been here, it could have been here, and where I exactly took my profits. So as you guys could see, let me pull up the 1 October chart. As you guys could see, this is the 1st of October chart. And you could see that this is yesterday's high. And that day when I took those trades, you could see that I took a short right around here initially. And then I took profits and then it went all the way against me. And then it rolled over. You could see on the second trade attempt, I shorted it again. Short should have been a bit earlier, right around these levels. But I thought it was just going to break out. When I saw and I got confirmation that it wouldn't break out, I was like, okay, then I'm going to take this short on the backside and hope for a rollover. It never gave us. I just got a break even. So this was a small, very small day. But you could see that in this case and scenario, we had it as the whole strategy. So it for me, because opening price was way far, I thought that going all the way there, we could see this as a resistance from yesterday high, and then we're going to roll over, or even we're going to push back into view up. In this case, we didn't. We kept on grinding higher. But you could see that this is a example where it held yesterday's high. Let me open another example. The 2nd of October. That's what we had on the 2nd of October. Those charts. There you go. You could see that in this scenario, the green arrows, this is the breakout that happened pre-market in the Asia session. We came down and we held it again. So the other example that we had was hold it as a resistance, and this is hold it as a support. So you could see that we held it as a support, and you could see that I had one trade on it and I was a bit early to it. As you could see, this is where we held it, and then we choked, and then we went back down. And this is, I was a bit eager taking this trade, thinking that we already overextended to the downside, that we should see a pop. I was right about it, but I would say right idea, wrong timing. I took my long, was able to take one out, knew that this is a counter trend. So with counter, you guys already know that I take partials very quick. I don't like holding them, just like the other example that I showed you, counter trend. So I took my trade here, took one out, and then I was in with 4 or 5 contracts. I remember I was only able to take one out and the rest break even, because obviously I want the higher move. And this is just the trade for today. I wasn't able to really re-hit these, and that was it for me. But you could see that my idea coming into this was as a hold strategy. Then you got the IWM on the 3rd of October. You could see that I played this very nice. I don't have the TradeZilla entries for it because I already have a nice execution platform. You could see that, let me see if I can make it a bit nicer. Yeah, this should be good. You could see that we broke out of yesterday's high, and in that case, I already knew we we're very bullish. We broke out of pre-market high. Remember, pre-market high is one of my playbook strategies, and you could see that I took my entries, and I was able to really get the whole move up, and then I re-added here and was able to take partials all the way down. You could see in pre-market, I already gave a couple of attempts, got out break even, and then I was in with full size, took everything out, took everything out, took everything out, and then I re-hit on these, and then took everything out. I even added some more, and then took everything out. Very nice trade management. Um, I think this is, I wish market was that clean every day like that, but super clean trade management. You could see we broke out of yesterday's high. We broke out of pre-market high. I took my longs knowing already that we're very bullish. We're above VWAP, and I took my partials as it went up, and then I added another one on the VWAP push, on the VWAP pullback added, and I was able to make some more money. Let's see, the 8th of October. 8th October, we had yesterday high break. As you guys could see, I already knew that coming into this trade, we were very bullish. So you could see that we had a very nice big push up, and then I took my long right around here, and then exited here. This is the 3-minute chart. Keep in mind, this is the 1-minute chart. So took my entry here, exited here. Just a quick scalp. Didn't have any trades on the board for that day, and I wasn't very yeah, I was very scared of holding this because I saw this as a resistance holding level, and you could see that yesterday's high level, it held this level, rolled over a bit, and then continued its way. But this would have been a nice short. Unfortunately, a bit late for me in the day that I didn't take it. And then you have the 10th of October. Platform execution is right around there. 10th of October, the second trade. Something like this should be visible. Yes. You could see that in the 10th of October, we had a simple breakout strategy, and then we rolled over all the way. And it was the major Bitcoin liquidation where Trump announced tariffs or whatever. But I was already gone, so happy I didn't trade that. You could see that yesterday's high is this level here. We break out of yesterday's high and we continue, and you could see that I capitalized on it as we did. I entered here, cover, 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 cover. You could see that I took my long on the pullback, gave the first push at the open, came back down the 1-minute chart, took my entry, took some out, took more out. And this is a prime example of a yesterday high breakout for a long. You could see how simple that is, but you could also see that I take my entries based on the playbook and based on the setups that I've discussed with you guys in episode 3.1. So give that one a watch so you know what I'm talking about. You could see once again yesterday high, it already broke out. We come back into it. We hold this as a holding level, and then we go back up. And you could see that I took 2 trades on it. The first one was unfortunately gorgeous entry. Should have taken some partials off, but was risking low of day, and I took it out because I was looking for the bigger move. And then you could see that I took my trade right around here on the second attempt, which is right here. And I was able to take my money. It did run a bit higher, but I wasn't expecting to go higher. But I made literally back. I was risking this amount, and you could see I already made twice that amount back. And this is my risk management that allows me to do that. But you can see yesterday high, we pull back into it. We feel initial long setup didn't work out, unfortunately, and then I long it again, and we get a nice hold of yesterday's high key level. And you can see that my entries basically based on this FBD. If you guys go back to episode 3.0, you'll know what an FBD is. That's where it breaks down, reclaims the breakdown, where it fills the breakdown, and then we continue back up. Then we have the 19th of November executions. Oops, 19th of November executions. There you go. You could see that this is yesterday's high. I already knew that coming into this that I want a break of yesterday's high, so I was very bullish on the day. You could see that yesterday's view up was here, so I was like, okay, if this holds yesterday's view up, does an FBD through this, breaks view up, I'll be long. You could see that I went long, and I took everything out, and this was a nice 600, 650. It was a nice 50-point trade, and this thing just absolutely went crazy, and I should have really re-hit these all the way here, but unfortunately I didn't. But you could see that it breaks yesterday's high. You could have even taken some more trades on these high breakouts, and then it rolls over, fills it, and comes back all the way down. But for me, what was applicable was the Yesteday high breakout. Then we're going to go into the 24th of November, if I believe. Yes. I remember this was for the Trade Zella competition. Let me put it this way. I don't know. Yeah. Unfortunately, I only had one trade on it, and this is again a prime textbook setup of a yesterday high breakout. You could see we break out, we pull back into it, we continue. So yes, this is also considered a hold. However, I would rather they're the same, but what I would call a hold is if price already opened up above it, we pull back into it, and then we continue. This would be a hold, but this is more of a breakout. You could see it breaks out. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to take the breakout at open. I waited for it to come down, waited for the next leg, and then I added, and unfortunately, I just didn't get the follow through. So I went out break even, took some partials, and you could see it was very choppy in this. And I was like, no, we're just probably gonna chop, and then it worked out. Very frustrating day for me, seeing that this would have already worked out, but it is what it is. But this is again another prime example of yesterday high breakout. Very good example. You could see how simple it is. You could see that I took my entry half size here, and then I took my full size right as we broke 1 minute bar, and I just never get the follow through for it to continue. But I followed my strategy, I followed my system. I would have taken a full size entry if we came back a bit lower, and then we reclaimed for an FBD through these levels and then go up, but it didn't happen. Then we have the, let me see, the 12th of December, 2 December, sorry, 2nd of December. And I could see that this is a platform execution irrelevant for now. So let me see. Execution. So those are the first trade. This is for the first trade. You can see that we took our trade right around here, but it's for now irrelevant. Just a little bit of proof that I really do take those trades. But then once again, you could see yesterday high breakout. We pull back, we break pre-market highs, and we just continue all the way up. And I don't care what happens after here. I'm already done. I care about the open. And you could see that I entered cover, gorgeous trade. Already took my trade right around here as we held VWAP, and I knew that we're holding above yesterday's high, so I'm very bullish on it. And you could see that this thing just absolutely ripped to the upside. And then I had another trade right on this VWAP pullback. It was, yes, here. It was on this VWAP pullback, held 3 minute bar, and you could see I already had a gorgeous entry, risking these lows. And I was just, I was in with 5 contracts. I took one out here. I think it was 1, 2, and then the remaining 2 here. And this thing just absolutely ripped. But happy to see that this also played that. However, you could see that this has nothing to do with the yesterday high breaker. This is just a view up pullback. If you go back to episode 3.1, once again, that I went over this. But you could see that the initial trade what matters is we took our long right as broke yesterday's high and gorgeous trade. Like you could see, it's very simple following this yesterday high, yesterday low, high time for contextual setup. And it also sets you up for good. The reason I took that long, let's open it again, the second trade. The reason I took that long is because I was very confident in longing because I knew that the market wanted longs. The market was bullish. So once it came back to VWAP right around here, pulls back, goes back, and then I take my entry, and you could see that I had another nice W just because I was confident in longs because I knew we broke yesterday's high. So I knew that overall the narrative was very bullish. We have another example, which is, let me open them all together. Yes, the 4th of December, and this is a fill. I already mentioned it with Phil. The 4th of December fill. This is the platform execution. This is the trade itself. Let's see. You can see that this is yesterday's high at open. We go up and we fail it instantly. We just come back down, and you could see that the moment it breaks VWAP right around here, I take my trade. You could see I take my trade right around as it breaks VWAP, and I'm able only in with 4 contracts, and I secured like 600, $700 on this gorgeous, gorgeous trade. You can see that we go back down. I take it based on the 1 minute bar entry, and I cover most. I took some out, covered everything on these lows, and then the last remaining contract that I was holding for a follow through, which you could see here, just took me out break even, which I'm okay with. But you could see that a fill breakout, so I knew already we're bearish. The market doesn't want to go higher. If it did, then we would have held these yesterday's highs and then continue. We didn't. We failed. We come back, and then I'm trying to find an entry. An entry could have been an FBO through these pre-market highs or a VWAP break. And you can see I took the VWAP break, and it was a gorgeous trade. So this is it about yesterday's high. Now I'm going to go into yesterday's lows. I hope you guys were able to get a bit of a idea about what I mean with yesterday highs. So now we're going to go into yesterday lows. So we have the 7th of October. A bit chaotic, but I'll explain it in a bit. You can see that we have yesterday's lows, and those are all marked with red dotted lines. And you could see we go all the way down, and I was very bearish on that day either way, because remember, this is yesterday's high, and as I just explained, yesterday high, we fill these levels, and I knew that a fill of these levels mean we're not bullish. The market doesn't want to go higher. We break VWAP, and you could see that I take my trades as we break VWAP. You could see again, I take my trades as we break VWAP, and then we broke yesterday low. And the moment I saw we broke yesterday, I just kept holding my trade, knowing that I don't want to partial anything yet because we're going to go lower. The moment we broke yesterday low, I just got this insane flush, which was a gorgeous day. So this is it about yesterday low, the 7th of October. You can see I even had more trades, and you can see this trades here. Had some more quick scalps here, and overall was a gorgeous trade for me. And then we have the 14th of October, and the 14th of October we have 3 trades on it. Let's see what the trades are. You can see yesterday's low is right around here, and that's what I mean with hold. It goes all the way up, it holds these levels, you get some quick scalps, and then it breaks out. But this is what I mean with a hold. Let me see what I have for the executions. Let's see the third example, second example. Let's start with the first example. You can see that at open, knowing that we already broke out of yesterday's low, I was very bearish coming into it. I take my trade 1 minute bar by bar as it breaks the view up as well. Comes all the way back down. I cover, gorgeous trade, and then you've got the second trade, and the second trade is a short right around here. Goes, add some more, cover everything, just gorgeous trade. And you can see that I took those shorts because I knew that that was a holding level for me. Even though, yes, we broke out, I was able to make some money, and ideally I wanted the deeper fade. I just didn't get it, but I'm okay with it. You don't always get what you want from the markets, but very nice trade overall. And then you got the continuation trade on the third trade, which was the short right around here. So you can see we break down, we pull back a bit, and then this tiny scalp here went break pre-market low, took another trade, and I was able to get another third W in for the day. And you could see that all of this happened, all those trades happened because I was my bias, and I think I labeled them wrong. Yeah, this was the third trade. This is the second trade. It doesn't matter. You could see that the only reason I was able to short with such high conviction, knowing that we broke out of yesterday's low, we were very bearish, we come down, we break view up. Ideally, what I wanted was a pop into it and then go back down. Didn't get it, which is okay. I got my view up break, and then I was able to make most money there. And then we got a pre-market low break, took my shorts again on this pullback on the 1 minute bar. I was able to get everything out. And again, I was holding for a deeper pullback. Well, once we did an FBD, we go down, we hold back this level. I was all out, and then we grind all the way back up for the last trade of the day. That taking shorts here, and covering everything there. And unfortunately, I didn't get the fade that I wanted, a deeper fade back into view up or something. But 3 on 3 for the day, and I couldn't complain. But you could see that all of this came because we had broken down of yesterday's low, and we held yesterday's low. Very nice example. This is the 14th of October, so even if you want to go watch yourself, you could. And then we have the 13th of October, 30th of October. Platform execution is a bit irrelevant for now. You could see that once again, yesterday's low, we break out of yesterday's low, and you could see that I don't hesitate. The moment we break out of yesterday, I take my short, cover, gorgeous trade instantly, and you could see I was in with 3 contracts, and unfortunately, I don't know why I didn't trade with more, but I was break even for the day, stop loss at break even, so essentially a risk free trade. And you could see that we just roll over, and I made around 350, 400 bucks on this, which is gorgeous. You could see that the idea is very simple when you talk about yesterday high and yesterday low breakout. It gives you a clear structure, helps you take and trade. Then once again, I have another example, which is the 13th of November. And on the 13th of November, I had one of the most beautiful trades I've taken in my life, I think. This is the first trade. We're going to go over them. I had two trades on them. We're going to go over it. Once again, we break yesterday's low. You can see at the open, we have a tiny pop, and then we go all the way back down. And you can see that I missed trading this tiny pop. You could see I take it here right around as we break pre-market lows, which is right around here. I take my short, risking these highs, and you could see we go all the way down, take my money. I was able to make 25s, 350s. I was able to make 80 points on that move. You could see right here, I'm in with 4 contracts, and I'm up 520 bucks here. And on this 520 bucks, this is I ended being a $600 trade, around $600 trade. And then we got the second trade, which was the top right at here. And I'm going to show you why exactly. You should have already known watching this video. You should already know why I took these trades, especially this one that I'm going to show you right now. But you could see we have a yesterday key level here, the yesterday low here. And what do we do right around here? We have it hold. So we take it as a breakout first, and then it pulls back into it and it holds yesterday's low. And you could see that I take my short. I literally have zero drawdown on this trade, and this thing just rolls over all the way. And you could see I was in here, and I remember I traded very small, 3 contracts, because I was already happy with what I made for the day. And you could see this goes all the way down, and I make $1,000. I even made more. I think I made $1,100, $1,200 on that day with only 3 micros. You could see that it held yesterday's low. We have nearly zero drawdown, and it rolls all the way down from 480s to 320s. And I remember I went all the way out at 300, so I made like 180 points on that move alone. And gorgeous day. But it kind of showed this is a gorgeous example. 13th of November, you should go probably watch it yourself as well. We break yesterday's low, we come back down, we pull back into it. I take another trade, and we get a nice move down. So there's two examples in one: the breakout and then the pullback into it. And I was able to trade them both. And this is what I mean with sticking to your strategy and just trusting your system. Then we have the 18th of November. I have 3 trades on them. Once again, we break the yesterday's high. We break the yesterday's low. You can see we pop, we fill, view uphold, and then we go all the way down. Let me see what kind of trades I took on them. We're going to go over the first trade first. Remember this, first trade first. You could see that I took my short right around the rollover, which was here. And then this tiny wick right around here takes me out. This massive push takes me out break even, which is annoying, but we can't complain about it. And then it rolls over. And obviously, knowing that I want shorts, knowing that we're below yesterday low, knowing that we're below pre-market low, I knew that the conviction for shorting was very high, and I was going to give it another try. And if it didn't work, I would have been done for the day. The market just doesn't want to do what I think it should be doing. Then I'm just going to go walk away, because tomorrow is another day, next week is another day, and I'll be making money back, at those times. And then you could see that I was right. And then the 2nd of December, sorry, 18th of November, the second trade, you could see that I rehit it with 3 contracts, and this time it did work. You could see our first trade was here, break even out, and then you could see as we rolled over, I was patient enough, took it again, and I was able to take everything out here. So I had a break even trade and a massive W, which ended up paying me like 450, 500 bucks. And you could see that the idea was that once it breaks it again, I'm just rehit it, and then I was able to make the money. And then the third trade on it, let me delete this. The third trade on it was a short as well, because as I said, I'm very high. Yeah, the conviction on the shorts are very high. We're breaking pre-market low. We're breaking yesterday's low. We're breaking yesterday's low. You could see that as we went down, we chopped, we came back, we filled these levels here. We do an FBO. I take my short, risking these highs, and you could see I make a nice 1-to-1 with cherry on top just to finish it off, because I had such a high conviction. I remember I ended this day with around 1,500, 1,600 bucks. So very nice, 1,600 bucks. That's like a 5 or 6 hour day for me. Very nice. This shows that, trusting your system, trusting your guts, and all those back testing days has really been paid off, and I was able to really maximize the most out of this short. Unfortunately, if this break even didn't happen, I would have probably added somewhere as it broke out and have some more size catching the short. It didn't, but regardless, very nice example as well, the 18th of November. And then we have the 1st of December, which is hidden behind my OBS, but let's see. Now let's just open them all three together, which is okay. Let me see if I'm able to pull this out. Nope. Let me see if I'm able to open them individually. Well, I can't. Yes. First trade, second trade. You could see the 1st of December, we had a yesterday's low right around these levels. And you could see that in my mind, well, remember the holding level. In my mind, I'm like, okay, price opens lower. I want to pull back into it and then drop. And you could see that we get there. I have a entry right around this. This is a 3-minute chart. This is the 1 minute. So it was right around here. I take it out as it breaks the highs, and I'm okay with it. I take my L. And then the second trade, I rehit it as it rehit it right around here. So I knew, okay, I'm seeing some resistance. I know that the market wants to go back down. You could see I take it right around here. Gorgeous entry. Could have even taken it here. And then I took it right around here as it came back, rolling over into VWAP. And I was able to take the most out at these VWAP dump. Overall, you could see that, yes, my first attempt didn't work, but I stuck to my strategy. And you could see that, coming back into yesterday's low, I should be taking this short. Doesn't work, which is okay. I take my L. It goes up. I wait patiently. I get the 3-minute bar entry. And you could see I take some out, and then the remaining I take out at VWAP, which, the reason I was able to stay committed to my short and not really chase longs here, take an L, chase longs or whatever, and take an L. It was all because I was able to trust my strategy and know that, hey, we're breaking down of yesterday's low, we're pulling back into it, and I should be taking my short if this and this happens. You could see that yesterday high, yesterday low is quite simple. It's something that I use the most. Most of my W's come from overall in my career, even with equities trading, stocks trading. Most of my W's came from this yesterday high and yesterday low. And yeah, this concludes it. This concludes the bootcamp. And I hope you guys were able to find value in this, even if you're not training this way that I do, because I am completely training a whole different way, which comes from the equities background. I hope you're able to find some value in it, and I hope you guys are able to leave a like. It generally helps a lot. Please subscribe. Please leave a like, and let me know in the comments if this was valuable for you, or if you have other suggestions for me. And join our Discord. We're very active there. As I said, 2026 is nearly coming. We're trying to break records. And yeah, I'll catch you there. Peace out. Bye bye.